I'm going to do smaller downloadable titles like the one we have here today, which is Alienation, by developer House Marquee or Housemark or however it's pronounced. This is a twin stick shooter. I'm a huge twin stick shooter fan, and this is a good one. If you had a chance to play either on the PlayStation 4 or the PlayStation 3, their previous entry in this type of genre, the Dead Nation games, you'll see instant similarities here. But we're going to get right into it. So we have three classes. You have a saboteur, a tank, and a biospecialist. Each one has their own special skills. The tank, obviously, he's a tank, so he's going to have a shield. He also has a big sort of Tesla cannon thing, blast that he shoots out, and he does a ground pound. The biospecialist can heal the party, can throw out these nanomachines. They're called wraiths, and they'll hunt down enemies for you and attack them, and you can create poison clouds. The saboteur can go invisible, which can help you get out of a sticky situation if you're getting crowded. There's some bombardment, almost like an orbital bombardment down where you're getting, surrounded by enemies. And then he has a plasma sword that you can use up to 2 times or 3 times, I think. So we're gonna, just to give you guys kind of an introduction to this, we're gonna roll my saboteur since he's the most badass. So this is your world map. When you get on here, when you start new games, the training camp here will be the first thing available to you, and then you can come to Barrow, Alaska, and then the missions will open up, obviously, as you play through the campaign. There is like a new game plus mode, so once you're completely done with the game, you can go into what they call World 2, where you'll see these UFOs and ARC ships, and then this weekly mission down here open up. And then these things are, this is where you get your end game content with these 3 things right here. Because once the story's done, this is what will keep coming back. And this is a multiplayer title, so local or online, you can have up to 4 players. Doesn't matter classes, you can roll 4 tanks or 3, whatever. I think I'm going to go ahead and do the weekly mish. They're usually generally a little bit harder. Doesn't even matter what difficulty you put on there. And then you have the modifiers, which you can see there is going to give me a longer rush cooldown. The enemies are going to be faster, and they're all going to know where I'm at. So the reward for this is just 2 different armor paints, so it's just cosmetic stuff. It's not really going to affect too much. You also get these assignments. I believe these don't pop up until World 2, and your rewards are like crafting materials that you can use to upgrade your weapons and things of that nature. There's also a leaderboard here, and this gives you access to more cosmetic stuff. It's basically just a ammunition color, so when you're playing multiplayer, it's a little bit easier for you to see where you're at, because all people basically look the same. And here we have basically my stats. I'm level 30 with 300 hero levels. Hero levels just increase your hit points. Once you hit level 30, that's the max. You've got all your ability points at that point and everything else. Gear is pretty self-explanatory. I do want to point out, though, that you have varying degrees of rarity, just like you would say in a game like Borderlands, starting from white being the common all the way up to orange, which is your legendary. And legendary weapons, as well as the rares, which are a purple color, can come with extra benefits. And you'll see, like, my SMG here has an effect that says shoot at enemy, and the effect is the boomerang. And you'll see that when I get into gameplay here. Anytime I shoot, I have a chance, and it's a fairly high chance to throw out a boomerang, which is actually a grenade type item that you'll pick up that literally just cuts down everything for you. It's fucking awesome. So keep an eye out for that while you're picking these up. Some of them are better than others. Obviously, anything that's got a shootout effect is going to be the best, whether it's throwing out a boomerang or dropping a grenade on somebody, or whatever the case may be. I think I had a shotgun at one point that threw out lightning, so whenever the first person I hit would throw out lightning behind him and just grease entire mobs. So, it's cool stuff. There are weapons like this Devastator here. This is a DLC gun, and you can buy them separate, or you can get them in a pack to go along with a heavy weapon, which is called the Collapser, and a grenade called the Vortex Grenade, which is super useful. Okay, so the abilities you'll see here with the Saboteur, like I said, you got the Plasma Sword, an Artillery Strike, and then Camouflage. You'll never get enough points to max out everything on the ability side. So I always go for obviously what's going to be the most effective. So the Plasma Sword is sort of like a last ditch. If I'm getting run down, I can turn around and just cap a few guys and hopefully get away. In between the major nodes that you unlock here that increase damage size, cone size, that kind of thing, is you'll get different multipliers. So for my Artillery Strike, for example, I have the Signal Radius, which increases the size of the circle that comes out that targets enemies automatically, and then I increase the damage, or the targeting time, sorry, twice. Okay, and your passive abilities, you get like health regen, power punch, which is just basically increasing damage to your regular melee attack, and then a kinetic assault. So if you're dashing and you use the melee button, it'll actually be like a spin attack, which knocks everybody down around you, that kind of stuff. Resources, you'll pick up these gear cores as you play. When you get 3 of them, I don't think I have a 3 anywhere here, but with 6 being the max. The reroll materials, when you get into your guns, there's going to be a section here called reroll stats, and as you go down, it will show you exactly what you need as far as the material to increase the thing. Now it's always kind of a toss up on what you're going to get. Sometimes it'll go up, sometimes it'll go down. So you really want to make sure you've got enough jump there to change the stuff where you want to get to go. Okay, so we're going to give this weekly mission a go and hope I don't get my butt kicked.
The Xenos seem to be ramping up their presence in Fortitude, including heavy air traffic, perhaps in response to our operations. It's time to get back to the Colonel's plan to breach the force field of Ashland.
Let's do it.
Here's some hush-hush planning brewing. Good luck.
The first thing we need is to find a shell in the old navy.
So the great thing about the boomerang, whether you're using it as part of a weapon effect or even if you're using it in your item slot to throw out, is that once it's flown out, you can kind of direct it a little bit.
You crazy?
See what I mean? And that's kind of cool.
You are, Captain.
You can use
Go
that
get
to
the
just
Colonel a show.
grease things left and right. This isn't really a game you have to worry about ammo, but I do need to call attention to the fact that the weapons that each character uses does have a finite amount of ammunition. So the SMG that I'm currently using carries about 200 rounds, and that will never change. You can increase clip sizes, fire rates, damage potential, that kind of stuff with the cores that you pick up, but your clip size is never going to change. Not too long after the game's release, they put out, I believe it was an update, it may have been part of a DLC pack where the different classes could actually use anybody's weapon. So when the game initially released, only the Saboteur could use the SMG, only the Bio Specialist could use the Xeno Rifle, and only the tank could use the Energy Gun, which all have different effects. Like the Energy Gun is very short range, but it has a ridiculous rate of fire, and a 400 round capacity, sorry. So these maps are completely explorable. When you're playing, you can go straight for the objectives and get through the objectives as fast as you can if you want, or you can just canvas the entire map, and they're all fairly large to get any secrets or extra drops that might be happening or going on there. Destructible environments are also a thing to a certain degree. Lush vegetated areas like this can actually set on fire. Pretty colors. So you can see just how devastating that boomerang attack is. I mean, even from a manually operated position on your item tab, using it like you would a grenade, it's so devastating. It almost breaks the game. So the controls are pretty simple. Obviously the left stick's going to move your character, right stick is responsible for your aiming. L2 is your grenade option. L1 is your dash. R2 is your melee. I'm sorry, R2 is your shoot. R1 is your melee. But all those can be remapped in the options menu. I know some of you guys are kind of, if that's the case, you may end up triggering a reload in an area where maybe you're not trying to, so you can swap that to a different button. The other thing to consider with this game is the way resupply works. So when you're constantly going to be getting ammo, ammo's not really going to be a big deal. But the weapons that you're not holding at the time are going to get a bigger benefit than the weapons that you hold. Ooh, hordes, my favorite. Almost look professional. You hold down the triangle button to switch to your heavy weapon. And then you just tap the triangle to switch to your primary and secondary weapons. Everything's going boom. So when you get to higher difficulties like veteran or higher, you'll have these sort of extra side missions that pop up on your map. This is a bounty, or a champion, if you will. I think that's what they call it, actually, a champion. And the champion, when they're defeated, will give you the best reward. It's a purple chest. This is where you'll have the best chance to get, say, a legendary weapon or a rare. Doesn't always work, but you're definitely going to have a better chance. There's a sort of hidden trick. I think you'll see it in the loading screens where they give you the hints. These respawn beacons, you can either trip them to set a specific respawn on the map, or if you shoot them or destroy them, you'll notice I got a little, looks like a pouch down there next to my health bar. And so that increases my reward chance at the end of the mission. You can have up to 3 of those at a time. But understand that if you destroy a respawn beacon and then die, you won't get that beacon back. So if you be careful, everything resets, your multiplier resets. When you Alright, and these are challenge nodes. Could be anything from defending yourself against waves or simply destroying a set amount of enemies. We'll see what it gives us today. So we're going to get waves. Boomerang, I'm telling you. Yeah, it just wrecks so much shop. So yeah, I just gotta level up, but at this point I'm not getting any more skills. All I'm getting is health increases. I say that like it's bad. So for these challenges, you actually get a blue box, which is going to be better than the standard green chests that you'll find littered throughout the world. Same kind of deal, although it's not going to give you as good a reward as say a purple chest will. And here's the green ones. So these big dudes, sometimes they'll have shields. The flamethrower guys don't generally have shields because you can't get anywhere near that flame. But if you can get around behind them and hit them from the back, that's an automatic just one shot, they're dead. And they'll explode generally and take out anybody next to them. The story in the campaign's kind of whatever. It's just a generic, hey, aliens are kicking our butts. And we've reverse engineered the tech. That's a Sentinel enemy, and they are the bane to my existence. I freaking hate those guys. So I'll show you guys the vortex grenade. It does exactly what it says. Just creates a giant kind of black hole similar to everything. Pulls in enemies, helps you do crowd control. Very, very useful. Each class's special abilities are not on a cooldown. You actually have to collect pickups, little blue pickups that refill your energy bars, and then that's when you get to use them again. So this is a teleportation node that'll take us up to a mini or UFO or arc ship level. No! That was just the perfect storm of goddamn. Well, alright. We'll just go complete the mission here. And I think you guys get the idea of what this game's all about. Going forward, though, the only thing I have left to do to get the platinum on this game is to be a level 30 hardcore hero. And let me tell you, that's been tough. So, I may do some videos based on that, so you can see one of the energy pickups right there. And document my struggle to get that final trophy and platinum this dang game. So the arc ship missions in this game are the hardest missions that you can do. They're very long. Lots of just congested areas. Just
That looks roughly the site we have.
Don't mean to rush you, Captain, but long-range scanners show an approaching crowd. This is the arc ship.
Oh yeah. Bring it on, suckers. The dash also works differently per class. So the Saboteur, you get like 2 dashes. The tank, you get a longer bar than the other two, and you can just hold it down and scoot. Your own grenades can't hurt you. Beware. Yes. Show you guys the plasma sword real quick.
Well done, Captain. Now place it on the study load.
Also, the melee attack that you get, a little bit different from the Dead Nation game. In this one, there's kind of like a half a beat pause in between you being able to continue attacks. So, keep that in mind too.
Excellent. Now we need some propellants.
The fort had several armories, sending you the locations.
Sounds good, Colonel. The armories should definitely have whatever that gun needs.
Gonna go get my boom booms.
The package says nitrocellulose, which is correct, but it looks degraded. Hopefully at least some can be salvaged.
I mean, I could just do this all day. Sometimes we get a good drop off a horde. It doesn't happen all that often. Oh, that's another exterior.
Mostly ruins, but the bottom looks okay.
One more to go.
Not a bad find. We may have enough now. Take it back to the naval gun. You'll have to combine all the nitrocellulose into one package.
Combined propellant.
Looks good. Now load the gun.
Stick it in the gun.
Now for the fireworks. Get up on the firing platform and press the button.
Firing platform.
Will you look at that?
That was spectacular.
Well done, Captain. Now we just need a plan to get to the crash site. First things first. Let's get you out of there.
Stardust here. Some warning would have been nice.
So I only had
guys. My ears are
two
still
of the
bleeding.
increased loot in the world again. And it would appear that 300 is the max amount of hero levels that you can get, which is a little underwhelming maybe. So you can see there different colored ammos, so when you're firing it'll be blue or red or whatever the case may be. There you see the Xeno rifle, that is technically the main weapon for the biospecialist, and the energy gun for the tank. will also pick up different armor specs. It's more than just a paint job. If you'll notice on the side there, the one that I'm using right now gives me a faster movement speed and then a slower plasma sword recharge, which isn't that big a deal for me because I don't use the plasma sword all that often. But it'll change different things and how you get your skills back and whatnot. So resources. So here we go. Like I said, if you've got at least three, you can upgrade to the next level. And you're just trying to get them all to level 6 so that you can put them in your gun and get the best possible benefit. Weapons you don't want, you are better off salvaging to get the materials you need to reroll the guns you choose. And at this point for me, if it's not legendary, I got no time for it. Alright guys, I mean that is the introduction to Alienation. The next few videos I upload for this game will be tracking my progress through trying to get to level 30 on the hardcore mode, which is permadeath. Once you die, that's it. I will say though, if you do get the game, you plan on playing the game, there is one thing the tank gets that neither of the other two get besides their individual skills, and that is no matter what weapon you carry, you will have 2 of them. But that will bring this video to a close, guys. I appreciate the view, and I'll catch y'all later.